Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a TruthENTFilms.com presentation. We are aware, awoke, alive. We exist to bring you a fresh perspective on today's hot button issues. This is the Triple A Podcast with your hosts, Tia McCrary and Jamar B.V. Harris.
Welcome. We are live. We are back. We are live, aware, awoke. Bro, I'm about ready to. We gonna have to change it up because they didn't stole the woke word, bro, and you can't even use it no more. Even if you know how the technical term and the thing behind it, they didn't drag it through the mud on both sides. You can't even use it no more, man. Damn, bro.
Right. That's the goal of the other side. To let you give up on what you actually believe, and we often do. So we got to keep it, man.
Okay,
no
that makes sense.
Line, they can change the meaning of anything they want, which they often do when it comes to black people. But we just got to tote that line.
Yeah, you know? That's dope. That's real. You right. Welcome to the Triple A Podcast. I am one of the hosts, Black V. There's D80, the producer. We got a special guest in the building. Reggie, I've been trying to get this brother on a podcast forever. He'll tell you, man, when we first started doing this, Jay, I've been hollering at him for the longest. Like, bro, you need to be on a podcast. This brother is like a sensible wealth of knowledge, or just the fact that he's one of those people who just open and have the honest conversation, and he likes context to this stuff, man. He's like the guy who's like we was talking earlier, he was like, yo, I'm the biggest Jordan fan, but I can admit Jordan had flaws. Like Jordan stands and be like, only think Jordan played like 6 years and like he was never swept. Act like he was whatever. Yeah.
Every game.
Every game.
Right.
Yes. So, brother, welcome to the show. Go. I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Okay.
I got a question for Reggie because I think I got a theory, but we'll see. We'll talk about it when we get to the topic.
Okay. So we hear. Oh, Michael. Okay. We here. We with it. The conversations is ready, and we're gonna jump into the news and hot breaking news because this is dealing still with Trump. As usual, Trump always doing something that's got something going on. So tell me why y'all know that they was tripping on a whole. They got the recording right of him talking about that he wasn't supposed to have the documents or whatever case, and they were declassified, and they got him on recording. Not only that, his lawyers just came out like about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes ago, saying that they can't find them defense, the files or whatever that he took. They can't find them, the ones about Iran and everything. They don't know where it's at. This cat lost classified Department of Defense files.
That's what happens when motherfuckers that watch wrestling vote. That's what happens when you put WWE fans and give them a vote. That's what happens because if you really listen, if you watch wrestling, they always say, "Why don't I get you in the ring?" That's exactly how you fucking talk.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, that's real. So my whole thing is that I'm not like none of us are surprised. I think we're all sensible people here. None of us are surprised with this. This is when you happen sometimes when you let those who I don't even want to say vote with their emotions, vote with ignorance. Lack of ignorance. Yes, vote with ignorance, and then they end up just liking somebody's personality and forget about everything else that come along with that person.
True.
So as much as he's done the whole thing about Hillary as a criminal and lock her up and whatnot. Bro, that's like really 100% eat crow. Right? You got to own that. You got to take that L and hold that.
Yes.
Yeah, all that lock her up BS. Like, yo, that's on you, homie. Where's my thing at? Let me pull up my notes.
With me, it's like with them, it's just a game of deflection. No matter what they do, no matter how hard you fucking catch. I mean, like you can literally catch him doing something, and he'll tell you that's not what the fuck you see. Like, come on, bro. Like you caught. Like,
hey, it be like that sometimes.
Hey, keep it real.
Yeah, own it. You know what? Normally, sometimes he'll own it, but it's after he already lied about it. Then he'll come back and try to own it.
Right.
Yeah. The debt ceiling and other political news, as we jump through this stuff real quick, and other political news, the debt ceiling, they reached a tentative agreement. And so that's a good thing. I assume that's a good thing. Although I was kind of like curious to know what the government, what a whole not, but us losing our debt would look like, and how the markets and everything. And I know it'd be chaos, but you ever sometimes be like, when somebody tell you don't press the button, like some old horrible shit happened, and you be like, I know I'm not supposed to press it, but
I'm not that guy. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's like, listen, when the homies tell you don't smash that chick raw, and you be like, all right, man, I hear y'all. But then sometimes I might, I'm not gonna lie, I might have been the dude that have been fuck around to find out. And then you at the clinic the next day, like, I found out.
I mean, that's kind of extreme though. But sometimes I can understand what you're saying, because sometimes people don't want you to do certain things for certain reasons. Like, it's not always because it's dangerous, because they want to keep you in a certain motherfucking place.
Yeah.
Time, you feel me? Sometimes, so like I've been places. I hate to reference this, but I've been to places before. It said if you go past this, is at your own risk. And I've realized after I went past that shit, it's because they didn't want me to leave and take my fucking money past that wall.
Oh, you talk about your trips and your travels. You done been to some. Yeah, you told me about, what was it, Jamaica you went?
Yeah, it said, listen, when you go to the resorts down that bitch, there's a big ass fucking 30-foot wall, and it tells you on that wall if you go past that wall, because they literally got the whole ocean blocked off, right? So it tell you if you go past this wall, you at your own risk, and they make it like seem so scary. You go over there, the locals are hostile, and they're gonna do this. So what they want you to do is spend your money with them. They sitting there setting up shop. They selling all kind of shit, and they're pissed because you are literally blocked with a wall and a gate, so you can't see the shit.
Crazy.
You feel me?
Crazy. Shit crazy.
It's a motherfucker.
Yo, Reg, there you go.
Laws coming in Jamaica soon, Reggie, where they're trying to give the Jamaican people access to those resorts. So they're trying to change the laws in that country now.
They should, because I seen it with my own eyes. They got armed fucking security with Mac 10s at the fucking gate, bro. I ain't seen guns when I was down that bitch. I seen it all fully automatic. Wow. I see you, Evan. I got this shirt from fucking Walmart. I swear.
I like that North Sider shirt. I need one of them. I need one of them. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a joy.
Yeah.
The Southside Chicago white ones too.
So Tina Turner passes. So R.I.P. Tina Turner, the legend. That was a real tragic. Well, we lost somebody else too, and I said I was trying to remember because it's been about Jim Brown passed. Yeah, Jim Brown, the great Cleveland Browns legend, one of the greatest running backs of all time. I catch flack because I give him his props, but again, I'm always like, yo, like, he was a GOAT because he was like bigger than just about every damn body else on the field, and he was faster than everybody else on the damn field. When defensive ends average height was 6'1", 175 pounds back in Jim Brown's days, and he was 6'2", 230 something, running a 4.3, bro. I'm not tackling that big ass dude. It's no different than the little league. The biggest dude that's fast, ain't nobody gonna keep tackling him.
No. I mean,
but he's still a legend.
That's not his fault, though.
That's not his fault. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, sometimes
any sport, bro.
Yeah. So no hate.
That is shade because it's BS. And then they talk about Bill Walton played against people smoking cigarettes at halftime when he was smoking cigarettes at halftime. I don't think about the competition aspect of it. I just think about the accomplishments because you watch the film. There were tons of people bigger than Jim Brown. I mean, just watch the film, but it doesn't matter. He had the talent. He did what he did. That's it. There's no, it's nothing. He's just talented. There's nothing really to argue, to be honest with you, man. He's just the GOAT. Now, my issue with Jim Brown would be domestic violence. Now, to me, I don't hold him as a hero. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think he's the greatest of all time in football, but as a person, sorry. You do that.
I'm ignorant to that. I wasn't even aware.
Oh, yeah. Hey, bro, he done came to our school all the times for a mayor I can. You ain't know he was beating open.
I know when I shook that motherfucker hand, it felt like he was beating on my ass. He was hand all bigger than my knife.
Damn.
Yeah, so no, I don't knock any of his accomplishments on the field, man. But when it comes to off the field, I don't have nothing for him.
Okay, I can respect that. I mean, I can again with context. He did have a very strong domestic violence past. At the same time, he had a very strong program with giving back to the community and helping youth. So I don't think one erases the other, but I think it's all about telling the complete story.
Yeah.
So I will leave it at that and leave it to go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll bring it back to the Tina Turner thing, to be honest with you.
There you go. There you go.
She was at a young age, she was one of my heroes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When around the time when What's Love Got to Do With It came out, like the film, like I didn't know Tina Turner growing up. I know my mom listened to her shit, but I didn't know her. So my mom purposely took us to see that movie because she was going through domestic violence herself. So she was looking for her own strength and purpose. And when I watched it and I'm seeing what's going on I think I'm maybe 12 at the time. I'm seeing what's going on with our lives and how we on the run, living from house to house, running from this dude, you know what I'm saying? And her getting beaten, all this kind of crazy stuff. It kind of gave me a resilience for Tina Turner because a lot of women who are in that position stay because of fear. And with her, literally millions of dollars was on the line. Like your whole life, I hate to say it like this, but this guy took your virginity. He introduced you to everything you ever known in the world. So to take that power back and to leave that man, I mean, that was powerful to me.
Wait a minute, time out though. I've heard some new revelations about that because what you said is exactly how I felt my whole life until about 2 weeks ago. I don't know if this motherfucker's in his right mind or not, but Judge Joe Brown says she's a fuck. Listen, this is what he said verbatim. And the only way you can say this verbatim is if you know what it means. He said that she's a fucking gorilla pimp.
What? I'm a gorilla on a hoe. Dig that.
She's a violent gorilla pimp, is what he said. He said, listen, he completely fucking Ike Turner. He completely defended him. Completely. He's like, listen. He was like, he's like, I know what y'all say about him doing this and the picture that y'all portray of Tina being this, that, and the third. He said, I'm telling you, matter of fact. I think he may have said she was either St. Louis or either St. Louis or Memphis. Listen, I may be wrong on that, but what else I'm saying is true. He said she's a violent gorilla pimp known for shooting shit and pistol whipping shit. So all them ass whippings that she was catching, the face she was catching, I've heard. I wasn't there. Clearly, I wasn't born, but I've heard she passed them out too. Oh God, ass joke.
Oh, so they was that toxic couple that really wasn't beatings. It was fighting. They used that toxic couple that be fighting each other. Like where you be
verbatim, she's a gorilla pimp.
Damn.
How the fuck do he know who? How do he even know what that is? That's some Project Passion.
Dig that. Well, Mac, you ain't know.
He ain't know. That's why when I see that, I'm like, he would know.
He leave? Oh.
He would know.
So yeah, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button.
He would. Hey, who am I to tell Joe Brown he wrong or right?
Right.
I wasn't there, but that's where.
Damn, gorilla pimp. That you're right, bro. All I did was think about Project Pat the minute you said that, and that song.
I was like, damn. Saying it over and over and over. I'm like, oh, okay. He knows what the fuck he's, because at first, to me, Judge Joe Brown is not the same person he was 10 years ago. But when he kept saying that shit over and over and over again, he reminded me, yeah, I got some sense, bro. Straight up.
Damn. Damn, I'm gonna call your mama up.
That's a no.
It's a no.
Yo.
I
never let go. Run, you'll get to the flow. We do not condone violence against women on this platform.
I'm not saying if she got some ass whoopings from Ike, she deserved it because she was beating on the next bitch. I ain't saying that. I mean, the next prostitute or whatever.
We're just giving context to a situation.
What I'm saying is, he said, matter of fact, that she's a violent.
Yeah, I never heard that about Tina Turner.
Tina Turner out here gorilla. Project Pat made that song about her.
He said it this week.
Dig that.
Yeah. Google it. Trust me. I wish I have my thing right now.
Hey, what up, Miguel?
You hear me, huh? Yo, shout out.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm about to say shout out to Miguel. He's supposed to be coming to the town late tonight, and we're gonna be in the studio tomorrow. So it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be classic. I'm gonna be just sitting here. He writing all my bars, all 16 of them bitches on every song. He writing the bars. He writing the hook. He writing the bridge. He writing the whole thing.
You only say I'm ugly because he's mad because he see this Northside shirt on. That's all the fuck.
You hear me, huh? Real quick, Elon Musk. Twitter went from being valued at 44 billion to now it's an estimated value of about 15 billion. I want to know how do you drop the bag like that? And that's a big ass bag to drop.
Right.
Yeah. So
I have to die about that shit. I'm killing somebody. I don't got nothing to do with it. I'm killing you. Fuck you.
We can't hear. I can't hear you, Reggie.
I said if I'm him, I'm killing somebody about that money. I don't give a fuck if you ain't got nothing to do with it or not. I lose that much money, somebody dying. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. I think he may have learned that the more he talks, the more money they lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I think him backing off the gas and letting a woman take over the company is the best thing for him. I don't know, man. I just look at Twitter and I see what Elon's doing, and he wanted to be his personal playground, and he thought he could make money off his personal playground.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going in reverse because he's an idiot when it comes to actually trying to create social networks and do social things. That's not his strong suit.
no,
But when you're a billionaire, you think you can do everything, and apparently that's not true. So it's his fault. The whole thing is his fault.
I learned a lot about Elon. And I used to be very ignorant and used to almost root for him. I just think he was a genius guy because you see this guy who owns Tesla, and in your mind you're thinking,
he's still smart. He's not.
He's a hustler in every sense of the word. But what I learned is I had to go back and learn the actual history of Tesla, and then learn that how he came in, and then the way he maneuvered and got the guy and kind of not pitted. They kind of pitted themselves against each other too. But the way he kind of rode that and used that to go a more or less strong arm and get it from off those dudes. So it's a lot of times when people think of Tesla and these cars and everything else, Elon Musk is not the guy creating the technology himself. That's not his strong suit. He's not the technological genius in that manner. He's a businessman, and he knows how to sometimes seize opportunities, and he knows how to market.
Can I tell you what his business is? His business, and this is why he's failing at Twitter. It's not why, but this is part of the reason he's failing. His business is to evaluate companies and to pull or take from, not pull, but raise or lower the value of those companies based off of either buying stocks for the company or partnering the company with somebody else or buying shares of the company and selling off those shares to increase the value. So he's basically a marketing.
He's a numbers guy. Yeah, marketing. Yeah.
But again, if I had that wherewithal, I would think I could do the same with Twitter. And he's learning the hard way that you can't, because he's dealing with actual people. When you're dealing with employees, when you own companies, it's different because they got to do what you say. But when you're dealing with people, they can take their little blue check mark and go home. And he not used to that.
Yeah. That's dope. So was there anything else in the news you wanted to hit on, Reg or Jay, before we jump into sports?
Well,
I got something, if y'all don't mind me sharing. This is kind of serious, so I'm gonna try to be serious when I say it. I'm gonna read this thing. So the FBI, whose headquarters in Cleveland, by the way, I don't know if y'all knew that. The FBI has now gotten involved because since the beginning of 2023, 27 missing children have been reported in the city of Cleveland. These can be abductions. These can be runaways. Nobody knows what the situation is. All I know is we have 27 families who are calling and asking for where their children are at, and can't nobody do nothing. So the FBI this week said they're going to get involved and try to help CPD locate these kids. So that was in the news today, man. So just giving some awareness to that. Just prayers up for those families. Don't know what's going on. I don't know, and I know Cleveland's a high place for sex trafficking, so I'm praying that that's not the situation. But whatever it is, man, we got to resolve it because that's some bullshit to have 27 families hurting for their kids in 1 year, not a whole year, not a murder rate. What 6 months into the year?
That's crazy.
You know what's worse? Let me tell you what's worse than everything that you just said. The fact that you're the first person to talk about that shit, and I sit on the phone and media and all that shit. I ain't never heard no shit like that, and that's
wow. It's crazy,
that's
man.
Wild.
It is wild. But
wild.
I just wanted to throw that out there so we can move on. But I did want to say it.
Okay, Reggie, you said it was something you wanted to talk about too.
No, not nothing that I can particularly think of that's like in like local news or nothing like that. Now, no, not nothing I can really think of right off the top of my head. Well,
you want to? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, there you go.
Border. You want to talk about the border situation? We can talk about that.
Tell it. Say it, bro.
Listen, I got a friend, and listen, I wish she was here. I actually seen her earlier. Like, people are under the impression, and you have to be fucking stupid to even think this. Once I said, people are under the impression nowadays that the reason why people can come across the border is because in the past, okay, what's this, 23? So in the past couple years, that Biden has all of a sudden been letting people come through. I just with a person right now that is from El Paso, Texas. And so she's a Mexican American person. And she will tell you, this is what she told me the other day. I've always known this shit, but I've never really like spoke on it. But she told me that when she was a kid, right? She said that her and her father used to swim across the Rio Grande River to go to parties and shit. Like, oh, okay, yeah, cuz I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna swim to your crib a little bit later. Come through. Go back home whenever they're ready. She said, people, listen, she said it's been like that since the beginning of time. She said anybody at any time can literally go over there and come back at any fucking time they want to. And people are under the impression
that this is all new.
People stupid.
Wow.
Yeah, you got a lot of them that do it. That just they'll go across for work. They just go across for work and still live in Mexico. A lot of them don't even want to live in the U.S.
Most of them, because it's too fucking expensive to stay here. They'll come over here, get their little bit of bread, and go the fuck back home.
I didn't know that. That's deep. Wow.
What's the problem? Why do people think that there's some imaginary something that's stopping these people from getting there? Why do people think that there's enough human beings to stop them?
Fox News.
Fox News, and the other part of it is just overall ignorance because it's a lot of people who don't live in that area or that region don't care, so they don't care to actually do the research. So when they hear about it, they just accept what's told to them.
Like, oh my
God,
roll with that. Letting them in?
Yeah, bro. When they start talking about the border and the border wall and understanding what's actually going on, my thought process went to fuck about the people they're trying to stop getting in. Let's talk about the fact of being able to put people in a position of stopping them from getting out. I feel more caged in if you put up a wall compared to worried about motherfuckers coming across.
You know, hold up, wait. You know something I thought about this week that had not, like, I didn't think about this conversation, but do you know? And I don't have the actual figures, but I know I'm close. Do you know more drugs are passed through the United States of America by UPS, USPS, and what's the other one, FedEx, than the drug cartels bring in combined?
Especially if you're talking about cocaine, yes, that's a factual statement. That's a factual statement.
It is Chris. Well, yeah.
I shouldn't say this because this is snitching. But let me tell you how cocaine really gets here.
Go for it. Yeah, I mean,
Puerto Ricans number one, and Dominican. I'm gonna tell you how. The reason why it comes, has nothing to do with race. The reason why is because Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. So the moment that it gets on the island,
Puerto Rico,
it don't got to go through customs no more. The end. That's all you got to do. Now, if we're talking about the Dominicans, right? All they do is swallow it.
Damn.
All I know is I did a little bit of research because way back in the day, no time frame included, I had a partner named Ant, a friend of mine, and he used to get his packages through UPS. And I never thought about it. I mean, I don't care. You do what you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as we cool, we rocking. But he would, I got a pack, Jay. I'll be back in a couple days. Okay, I'll holla, whatever. But he was getting this, for maybe about 10 years, pretty much. Running all through the Cleveland streets. I don't remember where he got the package from. I don't know. I just know he got it. I never, that wasn't my thing. I wasn't trying. Well, who sent that to you? Did you sign for it? But I saw it with my own eyes, but I never put two and two together.
Facts. That's how they get it. Now,
oh my gosh! Like the postman bring it to your door. He don't know.
Yo,
that's how they get it. That's how.
It's crazy.
And most of this shit that we're talking about, again, I tell people this all the time: public service announcements. If you think that what we're saying is a lie, Google it.
Yeah, look it up. You'll be surprised, man. Like that when like the USPS moving that many packs, it's just amazing. It's like, how can you not know? Like, I don't know.
I mean, you got to think about it. They could probably catch every single last one of them if they really wanted to, but do they really want to?
Yeah, or do they really care? Yeah,
or do they really care? Right, because you got to think about it. If they stop certain things, certain people are not going to have jobs. A lot of people are not going to have jobs.
Check.
That's a good point,
Mike.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, making sure. I got a phone call, and every time I get a phone call, I always cuss my Bluetooth mic out. I hate it. Hate it with a passion.
I can hear you.
News. So
in the news.
No, sports. We going into sports. Sports.
Talk about sports.
Ja Morant. Did you hear about what Adam Silver said today?
I didn't hear his exact words, but I know.
They about to basically after the finals, they're gonna announce his suspension, and they talk about hitting him hard, like hard. I'm thinking he's gonna get like at least more than 25 games. Now,
did somebody say Ja Morant?
Yeah. Damn. Hey, bro, we got to suspend you off the show for about 25 episodes, man. You're a danger and a detriment to all the kids whose parents let their asses watch the show. You're a bad influence. Forget the fact that Reggie smoking over there. That's not the issue.
We just all bad.
We just all bad. I mean, I'm drinking, but this is tea, I think.
It's my medicine. I got a card.
Water.
I can't function without it.
He said, I can't function right now.
I'm a violent individual without it. Nah, I'm just joking.
Reggie, let me know what you feel about the whole situation overall with Ja.
Okay. Well, I have several different feelings about it. Number one, which I think trumps all of the whole situation. Bruh, you're stupid. You're stupid. I don't care what perspective you look at it from. We can look at it from the perspective of, did he break the law on camera? Not in the stadium saying no. But how many times are you going to keep doing the same thing? Right? And on top of that, some of the stuff he is doing is very criminal now. Not the stuff that he's being recorded for, but the stuff that we know for a fact that has happened. Some of that shit is criminal. Okay.
Yeah.
His problem really is his mother. People always say, well, why his dad ain't doing shit? Because he can't. You know that a lot of times with us, even though if your father was there, a lot of people think that no matter what, they have to listen to what their mom say. Two separate situations. She's called her superstar famous son to altercations. Two separate situations. She has called him and he has came armed with particular individuals. We all know. Thank you. We all know that his one friend is down. His one friend is fucking fried. We all know that. His friend will do some shit to you. We know that. And we know that if his mom calls him, something's going to happen. So eventually, like I said, bro, you're going to get yourself hurt. When the situation at your house when you was fighting the teenage child, he said that dude was there and pulled a gun on him. The mall situation, they're saying that dude was there and pulled a gun. The gang with your sister, they're saying he was there with the gun. He also pointed this motherfucking gun at a bus. If I'm saying something incorrect, somebody correct me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know the exact everything, but there's so many
with the laser beam on it.
Yes. Why are you coming with the blicky all the time, bruh? Don't you realize who you are?
He's just a gun enthusiast who believes in his right to bear arms.
Man,
Yeah.
he gonna plexical burst it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Go to New York with that shit. Exactly. Go to New York with it and watch how fast you go.
Yeah,
he probably already been to New York with the blicky.
You know he has. Because he think he's untouchable. You know he has.
Yeah.
But
I feel, if I could be honest real quick, I feel that the reason he didn't learn this lesson the first time he got suspended, because the NBA, quote unquote, they just tapped his hand like, don't do that no more. And they know they needed him for ratings for the playoffs coming up and everything else. So they were thinking with their wallet, more or less, and like, well, he didn't hurt nobody, so we don't have to come down too hard. So I think the NBA was thinking with his wallet too. And so it came back to bite him in the ass because a week, not even a week, he went like to 2 days of some type of therapy or whatever the case. And then, like, no, they just did the bare minimum. Playoffs is coming up. Let's get them back. We need the ratings. Everything else, that's my opinion. So I feel like they were guilty too.
That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. They're not going to suspend a player for the playoff. We know that. That's a fact.
I would like to not think that was the case, but I don't know. But I can tell you it is a fact that he was playing in the playoffs. So that may be the situation, but I'm hoping, we get Ja Morant. I'm hoping that, and this is just being real. I'm not really worried about Ja's money because I think he already lost over maybe $100 million because he can't get that new deal. So to me, I think it's gonna have to rock bottom out. I've seen Ja types before. Man, they got, oh my gosh, just all these Trump supporters. Good luck. I've seen Ja's type before. We know Ja's type. We hung around people who wanted to flash they whatever that, right. just got to do it. And those situations don't end well. Not for Ja or whatever the situation is going to end up being. It's not going to go well for him. And the whole world is watching. And Kendrick Perkins said something today on I don't know if it was like First Take or whatever the things. And I never thought of it this way. He said the NBA is looking, of course, we all know, of course, overseas because they got those players. He's like, when they bring those players over here, those guys are fully vetted. They're not bringing guns into the locker room. They're not getting in fights. They're not in clubs partying, messing up everything in the streets, on the news, stealing, robbing, killing. What? Giannis, no. Luka, no. Jokic, no. Nurkic, no. All these players from overseas that they're getting, they're seeing because we got clean cut guys now. And what happens with the situation like Ja, when we look at individuals like that, the NBA is going to say, you know what? We don't need those kind of guys. So let's pivot from the hoods of America and let's kind of focus our attention over to Europe. And they're already doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing it now.
Bro, but he's not even from the hoods of America is the worst.
That's what I'm saying. Listen. I don't want to put nobody on blast, but it's a cat. Listen, I ain't going to say that. Why do people that are privileged want to be gangster? You're not from the trick. You never had roaches.
No,
your parents wasn't on crack, nigga.
You don't have to.
Listen, you know your dad, bro. Your dad grew up in the house with your dad. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? What's wrong with you?
Let me prove a point. Okay, watch this. We look at what we think is his life, and we think we know him because we don't think he comes from the hood, but he actually does. Now, where his address is located, that's not where he grew up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he didn't grow up with that situation, and neither did I. But if you look on the surface, I went to a private school, right? I went to college, graduated, right? Got a government job, right? Been there for a long time, right? There's no hood in that background, right? But that's not true, because if you actually scratch the surface, you kind of see that there's a little bit going on down there in the streets of Youngstown when I was in that. But that's not what people would see. All they see, he went to a private school. Me too. I went to the #1 high school in the nation for academics when I got expelled from a private school. So, you went from a private school to the #1 high school. but in between, I mean, the underneath that surface, man, was a lot of stuff that I went through that people wouldn't know. So I don't know. I wouldn't look at Ja's resume and say, okay, I know who that guy is because of that. You don't really know.
I can agree. I can agree to wholeheartedly to what you're saying, and there are those circumstances or those things that break the norm. But it is not the fact that we're just sitting there saying because he went to a private school.
Right.
He's a son of a former NBA. He's a son of an NBA player. He lives in a small town that does not have their crime numbers are not like that. And he grew up like decent. It's one thing to say like, yo, you live in Youngstown, fucked up Youngstown, and you went to a private school, compared to like you live in, I don't know, we'll say freaking like some small town, whatever case, like in Ohio, like Twinsburg. You live in Twinsburg because your dad's a former Browns player and he has his family in Twinsburg, and like it's just different, man. It's different, but I don't want to be totally ignorant to the fact that like that he's just because he may have grew up away from that. There's still the lore of it. There's still which we'll get into it later on. We'll get into it later on with the main topic. But there's still the lore of it. There's still the entrapments of it. There's still the fantasy. There's still the idea. Because even though we lived in the and whatnot, like, bro, we dreamed and visualized it and wanted to know what the experience was like to be gangster fuck living in Compton because we heard our favorite rappers doing it. Like, or we wanted to know experience what New York was like Brooklyn, because Jay-Z or DMX or whoever you people from New York was talking about. So I get it. And it's easy to fall into that entrapment, to fantasize and want to live that life. Like, to me, if I'm being honest and real, and we're gonna jump off of it, but the best thing I can say is like moving to Columbus earlier in the early 2000s and seeing Columbus and coming from Youngstown, my mind stayed at that time, and today is different than yesterday there now, but my mind state was like, bro, like it's kids in Reynoldsburg, like Westerville, all these places, these suburbs, these cats is bro, our own cousin Dallas, like 2-parent home, parents both got bomb-ass jobs at Chase and everything else, and Dallas wasn't, but a kid who lived in the same neighborhood as other kids, bro, they watched BET, and they were so busy trying to emulate what they seen, emulate that lifestyle.
They perpetuating a black stereotype for no fucking reason. That's what he's doing that shit for no reason.
Bro, I'm in like Columbus. There's jobs. It's not Youngstown. Like I moved to Columbus, and I'm like, it's jobs. Like you get fired today, you can go. Back then, especially, you can go get jobs everywhere. Like it was jobs. It was opportunity. It was kids coming up in 2-parent homes. Life was like whatever, but they so badly wanted to be what they seen in the music and on TV.
And he don't got to do that shit. And he's just putting himself in danger for no reason.
Does living in the hood make you hood?
Huh?
Does living in the hood make you hood?
Not really, because I know some people that's from the hood that don't act like that. What I'm saying is like your point was very valid.
Living in the hood. None of this shit makes you hood. Surviving, like I don't know what. Being hood, I look at it the same way as like when we talk about does listen to rap music make you black? No. It's does coming from the hood or being able to survive in the hood. Like I'm not hood. Did I grow up in the hood? Did we grow up right around? Did we go to hood school? Whatever case, do I consider myself?
Some have
I consider myself hood. Okay. Do I consider myself hood even though I grew up right there in the hood, went to hood ass schools? We're hood ass shit, like we were going through the metal detectors to come to school, having to take the batteries out the pagers so they motherfuckers wouldn't go off and everything and stuff like that. But I'm not hood, but I grew up there, and I know how to survive in those environments.
We don't need the but. We don't need the but. It was just a simple question.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm very curious, because if you grow up in the hood and all this and all that, and you're not hood, okay. So could you grow up in the burbs and not be a burb? Is that possible?
I don't know what being a burb would be.
The same way you looked at those people in Columbus.
All right. Can you grow up in? Yes, because you can grow up in the burbs and then you still like. Yes, but therefore, you can still like because you got an uncle or you got people that you, whatever case, and they live in the country. Like I have a friend of mine whose nephew lives in Cincinnati, grew up with his parents a suburban. He's so badly because he spends the summers with his uncle, he wants to be a country kid. And he wants to go do country type things, and his parents can, for whatever case, can't understand it. And this is like white America people that whatever case this is going on. But for his he likes the things he likes because he just likes to work with his hands. Doesn't mean that he's country because anybody could be from the burbs and still like to work with their hands and work on equipment, like to farm or grow their own shit and stuff like that. What we're saying is, what me and Reggie are saying is that the difference is that let me say, you can correct me after I say
saying, okay. Because you didn't loop yourself. Here's the issue with what you're saying. What happened to Ja Morant has nothing to do with his surroundings, but everything to do with the influences. So you can't look at him and say he ain't hood because he grew up here, grew up here, grew up here, grew up there. You can't do that. But y'all steady trying to say you can't.
Because but we're saying that. I was getting to that point. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that because for us that come for a lot of people that feel like they come for that environment, it was a matter of survival. It wasn't because we wanted to be influenced. It wasn't because we heard a couple of rap songs. It was like, it was like survival. The mind state of having to change up how you act, interact, or knowing when you're somewhere and having to leave, or knowing that even when you go to school and you got classmates that's getting popped by other niggas that's classmates and y'all all grew up together and you done seen some shit, or this person right here is a sucker and he a bitch ass nigga, but now he carry a gun, so you can't sit there when he go to pop shit and talk to you when you out beforehand, and you realize you can't sit there and pop all back at him because there's a chance you would get shot.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
For us that come from that environment, it does.
Again, if you're in the hood, it doesn't mean you're hood.
Listen, I'm gonna change the verbiage of what I said because I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Where you come from doesn't mean that's what you are.
Right, so that's correct.
I hear everything you're saying, and I'm not saying your arguments, both of you guys' arguments are not invalid, but what I'm saying is you're applying something that's not actual factual to a situation that's actual factual.
Listen, I agree. Listen, I'm gonna agree with you. So I'm gonna change the verbiage with him. What he's doing is he's pretending that he's in or from the struggle. And also what he's doing, I don't like that part, but if that's the role he wants to portray, that's on him. But where he goes wrong at, or what he really shouldn't do, is he's putting himself in dangerous situations along with others when there's a firearm involved. Yeah. It's not that he's just saying, I got this gun on me. Now, listen, it's his constitutional right and everybody's constitutional right to possess a firearm. It is. But where he goes wrong at and why he's going to get suspended is because he's letting his friend and other people influence his activity. He's pointing the gun at him. You see what I'm saying? You're pointing the gun at people. So but we can always say that, well, if the white man did it, it wouldn't be such an issue. Because at the end of the day, some of the issues that we're saying that he's done is not illegal. But the illegal things that he is doing is with that same fucking gun. I can promise you. Because every situation where the people are saying he's hitting them, it's a gun there too. And that's where he can miss me at. He can miss me with that gun.
I'm not trying to excuse his behavior. I wasn't trying to excuse.
I see what you're doing, bro. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Don't blame that shit on the hood or black culture. I feel you.
That's him being whatever influence it is that he had gone through growing up, coming out or whatever.
Right.
And that's his own fault, man. I've never had 100 million in my account. I never had millions in my account, but I would imagine if I did, I wouldn't behave in that manner. Matter of fact, even when you look at Lil Baby, he don't do stuff like that, and he totes a pistol ferociously. But again, you won't see him flashing it like that. And so sometimes I think that maybe if it's not the influence of popular culture or rap culture or whatever, what if there could be a positive influence that could have that same impact on him? But I hate to say it, but I think it's too late. But I would like to think he could turn, but I just don't feel like he is.
I hope he can. I think nobody wants to see. I don't even think the NBA wants to see him fail, regardless of the fact that the NBA running around and trying to bring all these foreign players or whatever case in. They know that the big bucks still lie with the Allen Iversons of the NBA, the Ja Morants of the NBA. Because regardless of not just Black America relating to it, like white America and other people, hell, even foreigners. There's a reason why Ja Morant's popularity is what it is. There's a reason why Giannis is a bigger player or should be a bigger player or whatever case, but the interest, the excitement for Ja Morant is bigger than Giannis or Kawhi.
Well, I will say this. That's great in theory, right? But when you look at a situation to where this great young African-American ball player can make my franchise millions or make us lose millions, wow. I would like to say they would err on the side of caution that they're not. Like I said it this way, what Perk was saying is in the future, it's going to prohibit an executive from saying, you know what, instead of getting a guy that looks like Ja Morant, I'm going to go get this guy who looks like Jokic across the seas and not deal with videos on YouTube and Instagram with him holding guns and shaking in booty clubs and stuff. That's what he was trying to say. And I don't know if that's going to happen or has happened or is happening, but he's just saying he can see an exec.
No, I think what he said is very factual and very understandable. I don't even disagree. I agree with what you said. The hardest part for the NBA with wanting to truly go all the way hard with that is that you can want what you want and take the safe route. But if the marketing, if the money ain't there or the marketing is not taken to it, because it's a marketing, it's a driven thing, especially in basketball, with the individualism. That's what drives the numbers up. That's what makes people want to go see the games, or that's what makes people tune in to watch it. Is that nobody gives a fuck. Everybody, they didn't want Miami or Denver in the finals because neither one of those has any star that has that appeal to draw people in to make the rating numbers go. Even Jimmy Butler, who I feel like probably is a real dude, like he still doesn't have that. Look at Kawhi Leonard. He's a champion, a two-time champion, Finals MVP, crazy like hell, but he doesn't have that appeal. And everybody's like, yeah, he's good, but he can't. I mean, we both know, and we'll go into the main thing because it's almost that time. But
yeah,
I will. The best thing I can sit there and say is that we, even with the stars we have, if you don't have that ability, like the thing is this for us, the reason why LeBron gets away with it, because he's a clean-cut guy, but his story, his background is so street.
Like LeBron not clean-cut.
No, I mean, no, he's clean-cut in the sense of a way that he hasn't been in trouble with the law, or he's
not gonna go to jail.
Yeah, like it's that. But his story, his upbringing, his story is like so gritty, grimy sounding or feeling. I'm trying to find like words of. I'm in my 90s mind state. Yeah.
He would be the person I would expect to be, because I ran into him like I ran into him at Akron. What was it? University of Akron party. This is like right before he got drafted, man. And he was there with the whole crew, all drinking, all hanging out, kicking it. And I'm like, man, and they're bigger than us. I'm like, man, these are kids. Like these 16, 17 years old kids. And so good point. I think if you're thinking if anybody would be doing that, he would be the person to do that, because he had the crew to do that.
Yeah.
Listen,
he had the crew, he had the story
for 6 years. I'm telling you, that motherfucker is from Spring Hill. Listen, Spring Hill is the only. Well, no, it's not, because they got other ones. They got the old people's high rises. So if anybody ever lived out there in Akron, they're going to verify exactly what I'm telling you. Listen, Spring Hill is the roughest, besides the Rosemary. They neck and neck. It's the worst fucking projects up that bitch. It's like 3 buildings. You got the mid rise, and the low rise. It's some people that we know. It's some people that we know. Motherfucking Jamaica Moore used to stay in that bitch. Listen, soon as you come in, that motherfucker smell just like piss. People be shooting each other in the fucking hallway in the elevator. Listen, I'm from Youngstown. I'm not worried about no Akron motherfuckers. They're shit. Listen, it ain't even about being scared, about being a bitch, about being soft, none of that shit. Yeah, you have to be cautious in that motherfucker. You have to. The motherfuckers will rob the shit out your ass. Listen, they got this store. I swear to God, they got this store called Roush's. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. They got this store called Roush's that's right down the hill from where this motherfucker is from, right? Listen, if you go, it's like a red and white type store. If you go to this fucking store, behind the fucking store,
the nigga said they got their own big A's.
Listen, no, it's not like Big A's. It's clean. I mean, it's dirty. I mean, it's dirty like red and white. Listen, behind Roush's, right? They sell everything. They sell pussy. They sell shots. They sell crack, heroin. Listen, wide open. As soon as you listen, if you go behind that store, you know what it is. It's like a dead end motherfucker street. Listen. I'm telling you. For him to come from that situation, and to be who he is amazing. I'm telling you. And the only way you know is if you fucking stay up there. I'm telling you. You have to see it with your own eyes.
Akron's no joke, man. People think
it's no joke. It's no joke. It's no joke. That motherfucker West Side, no joke.
Speaking of nigga moments, shout out to Hennessy. I drank it and they ain't paying me for it.
Right, I'm drinking and they ain't paying me for it.
Bro, I'm not gonna drink it. I just got a bottle because I'm a bourbon guy. But I keep this for when I have my relatives or friends that come over that still lost in they nigga ways.
You talking about be nice? No, okay.
But since I brought that up, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about something else too. And I know some people may not like what I'm gonna say. And I was telling her people I was gonna speak on this too. And I don't give a fuck. For Omarosa, right? I'm from the north side, so I'm going to defend her. I don't care. For Omarosa to come from where she came from, right? To come from the projects, to come from Westlake, right? To the fucking White House, listen, is remarkable. Is fucking remarkable. The odds of that happening. Listen, you got a better chance of hitting the Powerball tonight. I'm telling you.
Bro, I respect her.
From here, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Bro, I respect her just like I respect anybody else that's surviving the yoke.
Me too.
Don't tell me.
People need to stop.
Don't tell me to celebrate. Yeah. Don't tell me celebrate some like she fake or she phony, but you want me to go celebrate some nigga from Youngstown that's sold drugs or whatever the case, but I can't celebrate her because she factor her drug of choice was like having to sell herself or whatever case to put herself in a position to get to the White House. Bro, she made it.
She made it from Westlake to the fucking White House.
Westlake.
And people hate it.
From Westlake there.
That's what I'm saying. People got the wrong heroes, man. Period.
He said the wrong.
They do.
I'm mad. I agree with you.
Looking up to motherfuckers and sold your own mom crack. Y'all niggas retarded, bro.
Yeah. Facts. 100 facts.
I used to hate Westlake, hate the Kimball Brooks, hate Briar Hill. I used to hate all that shit.
Listen,
bro, the struggle is real.
Bro.
I used to hate the ESAs. I used to hate all that stuff, man. I used to have fights I fought every project I've been in, I believe.
Remember I used to stay out there tomorrow?
Remember
that time we got whipped on by the police? Remember that shit, Jamar?
Oh, when we was up at YSU?
That's when I used to stay out there.
Yeah.
I knew Gary would feel me. I knew he would.
Gary, I knew you know how Gary get. I already know how Gary get down.
I knew he would.
Bro,
I've been wanting to say that shit so long, bro.
Me, you, Bobby, Vivo. Yep. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, bro. We were just trying to get to the party. We weren't acting a fool. We wasn't sitting there being all ruckus, loud. Like we just walking through, like trying to like just minding our business and trying to see where this party was on campus. And the cops rolled up.
Damn. Yeah.
We weren't even all black.
Was it YSU police or was it YPD?
YSU police. Yeah, wait. And the sad part, I'm the darkest one out of the group. And then next to Reggie, and then Bobby and Jorlee is, bro.
You see, I'm talking shit now. I was talking shit that day too.
Yo, hey, real quick, while Gary watching, Jay, I don't know if you remember Gary, but we used to lunchtime monitor him
I remember
when he was elementary.
I remember him, Adonis, and a couple other kids.
Him, Adonis, yeah, all them, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. What up, young Gary?
So, yo, let's jump into this main topic while we got a few minutes because I know Reggie got to take off. I got to take off. Danny got to take off.
I didn't get to ask Reggie what is something we talked about at the beginning of the show?
Yeah, I forgot you did say that shit.
I wanted to ask, Jamar, you remember?
What'd you say?
At the beginning of the show, y'all had
said you said it was something you about to say about Michael Jordan. About context matters.
Okay, Michael Jordan.
We were talking about being able to be honest when you're talking about.
Okay, Reggie.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
No, I'm not gonna say no bullshit. I'm serious.
No, I'm talking about my dude.
Think back to the 1990s. People think that Michael Jordan was so popular just because he won. Here's what made Michael Jordan popular. Remember when cable was out? There was a network called WGN from Chicago, and you can watch all the Bulls games. So if you had cable, of course you're gonna watch Michael Jordan because there's the only team you can't even watch your own local team, but you can watch Michael Jordan if you got cable. And I'm trying to tell people that is a huge piece of his success and popularity, but people don't realize that because he's in 200 million homes every single night playing. That ain't the case no more. You don't have networks like that dedicate that an hour block to whoever basketball team they have. But because I was living in Virginia watching WGN in my uncle's basement. You know what I'm saying?
Watching it here too.
Right. So that is where his people think, oh, he won the champ. It's people who won championships who wouldn't have as popular as fucking Michael Jordan. But it's because we saw him every night.
And no other player. You seen no other player, other team like that. No other team like that. No other player have one fucking channel that you can just watch him on.
Marketing.
So people miss that. And if you actually watch his show, that show, Last Dance, right?
Last Dance, yeah.
Okay, Rich, if you watch the Last Dance, just peep the footage that they're using. All that stuff is from WGN Air. When I looked at that, I was like, "Oh my God, that's why."
That's why I never thought of that.
Yeah, but just this, if you watch Last Dance again, just check it out. But I just wanted to throw that at you, see what you thought.
That's a fact because listen, there's no other channel that was on cable that just dedicated. Okay, there was no Barkley channel,
no NBA,
there was no David Robinson channel, no Magic Johnson channel, no Larry Bird channel. You name it, there was no motherfucking channel dedicated.
And Michael Jordan's on TV every night. That's what. So I just wanted to I just wanted to make sure. Okay,
every night. Oh my God! Listen, I hope this is recorded. You fucking play that.
It's recorded, bro. It's recorded.
Oh my God! Listen. Oh man.
It's deep.
I'm so happy you said that shit.
If people don't see it, people don't know. I remember that shit, man. I remember. But anyway, go ahead.
So we're gonna jump in this main topic. Bad Boy versus Death Row. Death Row. But this is a deeper conversation than just besides saying like I just like Pop more than Biggie or whatever the case. Because I feel like I want to have this conversation responsibly. And I'm gonna be honest, the verses. It's really just an attention grabber because the reality of it is both of them. I like both of them, and I like acts out of both camps. And I would never really want anybody to have to really choose to give up either one. But I want to start off, and I'm gonna ask Reggie since he's our guest. If you picking, let's say picking, you rolling with Death Row, or you rolling with Bad Boy, and then why? Overall, do we break down
overall? This is going to be an unpopular. This is going to be an unpopular pick for sure. I'm going to have to go with Bad Boy, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so with Death Row, was Death Row in the beginning way better? Way fucking better. Like I mean, it was just like from like to past the roof, under the floor to me. But man, that shit damn sure fizzled out quicker than a motherfucker. Me or you could have probably got Death Row at one point ourselves, probably for about $100 or $200 or $200 at one point. You know what I'm saying? And this wasn't no long time ago. Now, listen, Snoop is trying his best by putting them goddamn jumper cables back on that motherfucker by signing Sugar Free and shit that niggas our age and it's already dead listen to still. For real. And I ain't trying to say that bad.
Yeah, man, you be breaking hearts with your breakdowns, bro.
Listen.
Listen.
I ain't trying to say that Bad Boy right now is impactful in the game or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. But
longer run.
Way longer run, man. Listen, if we just go from 2000 till now, what the fuck is that? What is that? What the fuck is that? Name one act worthwhile from 2000 to now. That's alive right now.
Top Dog, nigga. Top Dog was hot.
Okay. Okay, well, listen, I put you Dirty Money. Listen, Dirty Money is better than any act from Death Row from now to 2000 to now.
No, false. Crooked Eye.
Okay, well, listen, how many albums has Crooked Eye sold on Death Row?
I don't know, but them Slaughterhouse albums and then him just his whole thing.
No, you can't say that. You can't. I'm gonna tell you why you can't say Slaughterhouse.
Bro, don't be taking my wings away.
That's not Death Row. I'm talking about Death Row.
When he was on Death Row.
He sold nothing.
Nothing. Well, to be fair, nobody was checking for Dirty Money album either. But you have a valid point. You have a point. You have a point because Diddy alone plus Black Raw plus Loon
Shine.
Plus,
you can just keep going, bro. You can keep going on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Plus R&B with 112.
Yeah.
French Montana.
We're not counting that.
Young Jock, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, we know. We count that.
You can keep going.
We keep going.
Them acts right there is not even the shit or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, okay, I can't even think of nothing to say with Death Row. I'm just
no. All right, wait. How about this? Better longevity. My thing is this. The reason why I picked Death Row is I know Bad Boy has a better longevity. But when Death Row has better, less material, but more quality, abundance of the quality of material. You can basically, they get away with two of the greatest two of the top 5 greatest rap albums of all time with The Chronic and Doggy Style. Not to mention that Dog Food was like the shit. Not to mention Above the Rim soundtrack, Murder Was a Case soundtrack, and I'm missing another soundtrack in there, and I'm gonna sit there and whatever case get to it. All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli. It's just so when I go back, all I have to compare from that to compete with those is 3 Bad Boy albums, and you can tell me I'm wrong. The first Bad Boy album I had was both Biggie's albums and Mace's album. Every other thing after that, album-wise, was like, it was good, but it's not on a quality tip as a whole overall album compared to that. And back then, we didn't care which a single sound like. Album sounds mattered to us.
But look, though, everything you said, both sides, Bad Boy and Death Row, right? Both things you said are stuff from when we was in school. Let's talk about anything after school.
No, you're right. I don't have that. I can't. It's not even an argument. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, when Death Row hit, it hit. Yeah.
I mean, but Bad Boy was hitting too.
I think, and this hurts, man. I thought when you said this, I thought we were talking about something different. I didn't know we were talking about success versus success. I didn't know that's what you meant.
Who me or Reggie?
You with the topic.
Oh, okay. Well, no, there's layers to it. There's layers to it. So it's not just the record sales. When I mean like it hit, like those albums still lived on, like still live on even to this day.
So you're saying who had the biggest impact on our culture? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm sitting there saying when we compare like the Hot Def, when we compare the albums from Bad Boy compared to the albums from Death Row, which ones had the bigger impact on our culture?
Okay. I think we're running what they would call. I know it's a slope, but I think Death Row would be a slope that's increasing at a decreasing rate. That's an algebra 2 term.
Ooh, I had to really think about what that meant real quick.
I took it back to high school, man. I had to pull that out.
That's a good one.
Honest with you, I feel like in my life, Death Row had a bigger impact. But if we're gonna talk about overall, I would have to give it to Bad Boy. But those Death Row albums in the '90s weren't no joke. They really weren't. Those were classic albums, and I'm gonna switch the topic just a little bit, but just follow me. The biggest crime in hip hop history is that you have one individual on, I think, 4 classic hip hop records. No other individual has ever done this. Featured on all these records and has never sold an album. Never had a hit record himself, but was a feature on 4 multi-platinum albums.
Never had a solo album?
Never.
Mr. Malik?
He had one.
Mr. Malik?
It didn't get released.
Commercially. It was Sam Snead?
No, Mr. Malik?
Yep, Mr. Malik. Yep, Mr. Malik.
He was on Monica. He was on Dog Pound. He was on Warren G.
And Snoop Dogg's album.
Yeah.
All those classic records he was on, and never sold one record and came out with nothing. And that's the greatest robbery in hip hop history.
Hey, Julian. I'm not gonna let you slide with that Danny boy. You're not sliding with that. You're not, listen, I don't give a fuck. I grew up with you. You're not sliding through here with no goddamn Danny boy.
No, but Mr. Malik is the guy. The other half of Illegal.
Right now.
Yeah, Mr. Malik had bars. Like, he killed it on Monica's song. Mm-hmm. He killed it on Warren G shit. And he killed it on
Snoop.
Yeah. He did. Mr. Malik had bars.
The hardest tracks on Snoop album. I'm telling you, that pump track wasn't no joke.
Pump. Bro, I sound biased. I'm telling you right now, with all my heart, Doggy Style is like the greatest album of all time in hip hop. And I know people say the Chronic, and that's cool, but Doggy Style is like beginning to end, like, for me, one, if not one, number 2 greatest album of hip hop of all time.
I think about 3 Tupac CDs is better than that. At least 3. I would say. I'm not gonna lie,
and I'm a Snoop supporter, so this just hurts me to even do this. But I can't put that above a few albums that I have on and I love that Doggy Food album, man. If I still had that bootleg tape I bought from Save More for $5, I still play that shit because I love that album. But that's a couple albums above it. But I feel what you're saying though. It's worthy. It's an argument. It's in the argument.
And people can feel different. I don't even say that. Like, bro, he won. He beat DMX ass basically with Doggy Style alone.
He came out hard. I ain't gonna lie. Snoop was the hottest motherfucking rapper when that
SNOOP.
Hey, listen, you know what? Say what you want. Snoop deserved Death Row.
Yeah.
He deserved on that bitch because that motherfucker put in a lot of work and did not get paid for it. Man, he wrote, listen, the Chronic album, it's Snoop's album. It's not motherfucking Dre's album. You did absolutely nothing. You did nothing except for produce it. Because you can't rap, bro. Period.
I used to love Dr. Dre.
That's my guy, but let's be real. Let's be real. Did double work and got less than half the money. Come on.
Okay, hold on. Wait. When did you find out Dre didn't write his rhymes?
I was grown. No cap.
I was grown. And that's when we found out what's the DLC. We found out DLC wrote it, and then they start telling everybody else that write for him too.
Yeah. And now I can't listen to Chronic the same, and I try not to let it bother me, but
Snoop can't rap, bro. Yes, he can.
No, when I listen to Let Me Ride, I don't hear Dre anymore. I hear DOC. When I listen to I forget what's the song? It just ain't shit but hoes
and tricks.
All I hear is RBX words coming out of Dre's mouth. I don't hear it.
I forgive him because that beat is so hard.
You know how you what you're saying about Drake. I feel that way every time I listen to it's still a DRE because it sounds so much like Jay-Z. He's like, hey, hey, nigga. I'm like,
No,
man,
I
damn,
hate it. I hate it. I really hate it. Because now when I hear it, I just can't enjoy Dre's music no more. I'm tainted, man.
But see, Julian, the thing is, Julian, you're grading Snoop like you would LeBron or Wilt Chamberlain in his 60s.
Or you basing his bars off of a New York scale. And it's not that like Snoop.
Talk about him in 91 or 92. You can't 93. You can't say that. He's old now.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this much, and I sound biased. I'm gonna sound biased the rest of this after I tell you all this. I tweeted at one point in time back in the days that people attribute money to the influence, and that's not fair because Snoop Dogg, to me, is more influential. Was more influential on rap than Jay-Z was.
Yeah. Especially if you talk about the West Coast.
He tweeted that shit, nigga. I was like,
that's a fact. Everybody wanted to be. Listen. You're talking to a person who wanted to be like Snoop. You know this.
I remember you had the braids.
You're right.
Hey, you had the braids and the dickies.
I never want to be Jay-Z. You know what motherfucker want to be Jay-Z?
No. Well.
Listen. Now that we're looking at who Jay-Z is now, yes.
Oh no. This is back in the day. I may be a little older, but when Jay-Z first album. Thank you. I'm crazy. I can't. I'm trying to be straight. What was I about to say?
When Jay-Z first came out.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was hip to Jay from Biggie, right? Because when I saw Biggie in this video, I was like, oh, he hooked. I was hooked. So I'm the idiot with like 4 other kids sitting outside a record exchange down when it was in Chagrin in Cleveland. Outside waiting to open up because the first 50 people who bought the tape got a free poster. So I was on this from the beginning, and it wasn't because he was just the greatest rapper ever. It was just he was down with Big. So if he down with Big, I like him. But I become like I just been a fan ever since. But I would imagine that when Snoop first album came out, there wasn't 10 people outside waiting for the CD. There might have been 100,000.
Right. Especially out here, we talk about Youngstown,
But that's what I'm saying. So I recognize that Snoop's impact is way bigger. But I'm gonna tell you the truth: if you in the game and you listen to Jay, them words resonate. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
If you was out there living that life, I get it.
It's kind of to what you're saying that you have to realize that you're a little bit older. So when all that shit came out, I was 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
What Jay-Z was talking about, I did not understand at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about now.
Well, I wouldn't have either, but I was trying to sell crack at 12. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. I didn't fully understand I didn't understand how hard he really was stunting on people, what he was telling. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, people always want to say Volume 1 to me is the best album by him. Because to me, he's really telling you directly what's on his mind, and he's telling you you're weak. You feel me? Yeah. But I didn't get it at the time. You know what I'm saying? So Snoop was catchy.
He wasn't ready.
Like that. Jay-Z is not like that. You have to be smart to know what the fuck he's talking about, and you got to realize.
All right. Okay. So let me ask both of y'all this question. We'll go, since Reggie's the guest, we'll ask him first. Name me your favorite Death Row album, and then name me your favorite Bad Boy album.
Good question.
This is unpopular. Shine's album to me is my favorite Bad Boy album.
That is
when it came out. Listen, it's the same thing with Jay-Z. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Go back and listen to it now. Listen, I got hip to him right about like 12 years ago. To me, the sweetest album is that. Is he the best artist from there? No. Is he better than Biggie? No.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying from an album perspective.
That's my favorite album. Is that Shine album, and the reason why is because not only is he spitting, I love the beats. It's very Caribbean.
Yeah, those beats was
very,
clean.
very, very. He's fucking spitting on
clean.
fucking reggae beats. That shit's sweet as fuck. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite Death Row. Biggie, obviously. I mean, excuse me. Damn time. Goddamn Denny's got me talking stupid. But Bad Boy. Bad Boy.
That was your Bad Boy.
Right. Now, Death Row, I'm going to have to go with Machiavelli.
You said Machiavelli?
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, bro.
Okay, for Bad Boy,
yeah.
I had to say Ready to Die. This is not a popular opinion, but I didn't really like Life After Death all like that. Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna just say it, and people know I'm right. People know I'm right, but they would never admit I'm right. But I know I'm right because I was there before Biggie died. In the DC area where I was growing up, right, that Maryland, DC, and Virginia, that Nova area, right, they released what's the Sicker Than Your Average, Papa Twist, Cabbage Off.
Instinct, niggas don't. Yeah,
they released it before it came because that's
Biggie, yeah.
Right. At the first day, well, we got the new Biggie exclusive. It's coming up. Everybody's hyped. Man, they played it at 10 o'clock at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one song for one day. And then after that,
it didn't hit like that. Actually, there's no single on there that really hit like that.
Because nobody really liked it. But because he
died.
Yeah, a month later he died. Then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh.
Hypnotized, that what it was. Yeah, hypnotized to this, bro. Bro, you're 100% right because like Hypnotized hit, and I was like,
it wasn't that deal. It really wasn't. But when he died, it just made that whole thing that much more special. But I was telling y'all, if he would have stayed alive, he wouldn't have had the number one album maybe for a week because he didn't have the number one song in DC, and that's his stopping ground. Like he talk about DC in every album because they love him.
But do you hear what he's saying though? On that shit, do you hear him directly talking to Tupac? What he's telling him? And you don't think he's listen?
Which song?
Which song? Are you talking about the album? Period.
Somebody kills you. He's talking to him.
No. He's not saying the album wasn't hard. He's just saying that what he's saying is that he's not saying the album wasn't hard because I do love that album. That's like my second favorite Bad Boy album, right? What he is saying is that if it wasn't for his death, that album wouldn't have been just as impactful as it was because it lacked that hit that was like whatever.
That's a factual.
And they released some other tracks.
There's two ways of looking at that. Tupac too. So you trying to tell me that at least half the records wasn't sold because he died?
Machiavelli. Toss it up. Probably would have did.
What you say about Pac? What you say, Reggie?
You don't think that his death drastically helped his record sales? Because it definitely did.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about helping sales or anything. I'm just talking about the natural reaction from music, from hearing your natural reaction from hearing a record and liking or disliking that record. People wasn't liking Hypnotized. It felt before he died, when they pre-released it. This is before the video came out. It was supposed because normally what happens is in DC when they 95.5 and 93.9 they get the stuff early and they pump it. So by the time your video come out, you are number one in the DMV, and that means you're going to be number one up and down the Eastern Coast because they follow that lead. Now I'm trying to tell you, and this is not talking about his death boosted the sales. Okay, great, that is a fact. But what I'm trying to say is just on the natural reaction of liking music. Nobody was feeling it like that. And
Hypnotized it wasn't like that, yeah.
And
but listen though,
I was waiting for the next song to come out. Like, okay, I know he's gonna have something, but that's cool. But this ain't.
You don't think that that's biased in a way?
What do you?
No, he's East Coast. He's East Coast level.
No. Where's Tupac really from?
New York.
Okay. Wait. Baltimore. But what Baltimore? But what we're saying? Wait. What he's saying is that
that's the same thing. He's talking about is the same thing.
No. What he's saying is that
I
the
get it.
difference,
I get what
the difference is with Pac was that like more not just he was influenced by multiple regions. So he wasn't just an East Coast dude or a West Coast dude. He was influenced by the Bay like he was New York.
I
Biggie
get what you're saying.
Biggie was the West East Coast, all like especially during that height of the moment, all
Yeah.
clamored because like
They was fucked up. They was fucked
yeah,
up.
it was fucked up.
They was fucked
And
up.
so
They was
because the East Coast was selling records, but not like the West Coast. The West Coast was moving.
fucked up.
You and yeah, it was booming.
Everything from the West was booming.
I'm not Reggie. I'm not comparing sales. All I was saying, I was pointing out a fact of a point in time in history. That's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to say.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
At that point in time in history, that's what happened. That's all.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, okay. So
I'm not blind to think that him dying. Well, listen, we'll just take Tupac out of it. Right? His name don't got nothing to do it. We'll just talk about Biggie. I'm not blind to think that his death is not. That's the reason why he sold 10 million. Let's be real.
basically,
He
yes.
probably would have sold maybe 2 or 3 million if he wouldn't have died. At best, he would have sold 2 or 3 million if he wouldn't have been murdered. So I can.
That's because it was a
agree
double
with
CD.
you.
Oh, and they did. They counted both albums, so really he
Yeah, that's
only
cheap.
sold 5 million.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you, and I also think that the reason why in that area where you were at is because that's the area where Tupac is from. So it's not going, people
That's
not
not how it
going to
works.
like him.
Reggie, I was living there. Biggie was a god on. He could not walk on the campus of Howard for like you don't.
Yeah, that whole DC
I
area
don't
was
agree
so
with
in
you.
love.
The reason
They
I don't
were
agree
so
with
in
you is
love with
because
New
I
York
know
music
if
back
they
then.
played that same song in New York anywhere, it would have been it was number one at the same time.
No,
Over
I'm
bias.
trying to.
Is what I'm saying.
It wasn't-
No, that whole DC, you gotta remember DC is like the southern, they consider themselves like the southern version of New York.
I get
In a
it.
weird,
I get it. The go-go,
Yeah, they were
Hoodbridge,
East
all that
Coast.
shit. Woodbridge. I know what y'all talking about. My family from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Okay, well, all right. So let's jump to the next part because we'll be on this because it's so dope.
Okay.
What's your Death Row album?
Oh, Death Row album. It has to be Dog Food.
Woo! I love that album.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it has to be Dog Food.
I like that.
Even though I do like Doggy Style better, but I play Dog Food way more.
God
'cause it hit
Damn,
hard.
nigga. That's my shit. Nigga, you said this. You took the
I'm
words out my
pissed I said Machiavelli now that you said that. I'm pissed now.
I'm just saying, man. Have you ever put Dog Food in 216s? Man,
No,
oh
but
my
I would want
gosh.
to though. I want to though.
It's sound. No, it's seriously, Reggie. It's sound because I've done this for long. I've had sound system just about every car I had. It sounds on that album that you can't hear if you play it on a Walkman, or you need to. Daz, he put like little sounds.
Daz and Superfly, because Superfly don't get the credit for the helping produce on it, and Dr. Dre took credit from both Daz and Superfly for that album. But it was Superfly did a lot of the keys on that album.
But I thought because if you ever listen to a Pump, he put some like it sounds in there that you don't even know what it is.
Yeah, Dr. Dre did that. Dr. Dre came in and put the little. That's what Daz said. Words of Daz. He said him and Superfly will make the beats, right? And Superfly was never big on getting his credit, but Dr. Dre would come in, tweak this, turn this up, add this little sound here, and that's what Dr. Dre is known for. Dr. Dre is known for as a producer, like that little like ping, ping. You're like, what the fuck? And then you listen to the beat, you're like, oh,
yeah.
So I get what you're saying. Like, if you listen to it, being more older and mature, I listen to music different, especially learning how to make my own beats. I listen to music different. So when I hear production and you start hearing like just the little things and something, you might not hear something to the goddamn album song is almost over, and they bring in another instrument and a whole other sound. You be like, holy shit.
Riding, slipping, and sliding. Just listen to it. That's all.
Yeah.
Put it in your subs and just let it kick.
Yep.
Hang on 1 second, I'll be right back.
It's a wait.
Hold on. I'll be right back, Jamar.
All right. Okay. So on that album, Reggie, because we both that's honestly, I think Doggy Style is, but that's my favorite album from Death Row, and I can't skip a song. I mean, I used to, maybe only song I skipped was before Let's Play House. I don't like to dream about getting paid.
I like
That might have been the only song I might have fast forwarded through because that was tape deck going into CD time. But other than that,
Man, I listened to that shit with Jurley Vivo so many motherfucking times, man. I don't know what to do.
Jurley, shout out to Jurley.
shout out to Jurley. And Jurley still ain't. Oasis is closed, but Jurley still ain't allowed in the motherfucker.
Listen. This motherfucker, listen, I swear on everything. This motherfucker put them out of business personally.
Yeah.
Listen, we was in honors classes in the 8th grade together, right? So, I mean, we in breakfast, every fucking thing together. Like, you know, after a while, you get tired of seeing motherfuckers. But listen, every goddamn day, that motherfucker will come with some new goddamn tapes from Oasis, tearing their mouth the fuck out. I don't know how the fuck he was doing that shit.
He got me Illmatic.
Damn, he was doing it from 91.
Bro, this dude got me Dog Food album and he got me Immature's album because Jurley used to love his R&B.
Play that bullshit in that Sundance he was riding around. I remember that shit.
Yeah, he did have the Plymouth Sundance. I had one too.
Opener. We used to call it the can opener.
Crazy, man.
Oh, because he put all that chrome on it. You remember that?
Listen, one day, right? We used to play the juvenile league together, right? I think it was like our junior or senior. I think it was our senior, matter of fact. It was a whole bunch of snow on the ground. And this one I stayed in Bright Hill. So
wait, was you with him when he crashed it?
No, he was coming to my house because he was coming down fucking Burlington.
Down the hill. What's that hill down there by the what's the name of that hill right there, Jay? When you going to Bright Hill.
Burlington.
Burlington. And you passed where the muffler spot is with the little
it was the bend down there back in the day.
He crashed there?
Yeah, he crashed right there. Listen, I stayed on Robinwood at the time, so that's the I don't know if you know, but it's the first street in fucking
Yeah, I know where you stayed at. Yeah.
My house knocking on my door and shit. He like, you know how you talk.
Man, I
crashed my car. So I'm thinking,
he always stretch out his word too. Tell me why
I look outside the whole side of the car bash. He's like, what you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, fuck you, we're just gonna go to the game. So we still drove all the way to the south side to our game, and that bitch just stopped.
Yeah.
Remember when he dyed his hair, cut and dyed his hair, and all the girls was going over him?
Bro, he came back from top. Listen, Jurley went from getting no action. He went from getting no action till he left the California for like 4 or 5 months and came back. And all the females, because this nigga got tips on his shit now and got a tan. And all the females was like, oh my God, is that Jurley? Oh, nigga, all of his boys was lost. Like, wait, what happened?
What the fuck? Listen, you know why it's so fucking funny? Because this motherfucker's telling the guys on our trip, and like I said, we was in honors classes together. He left, came back 2 months later, had a little streak on the side. You know, slicking that bitch on the side. Shit. Yep, one guy had all the hoes.
That shit was crazy, man.
Vivo was a wild boy. All right, so my favorite Bad Boy album is Life After Death. I love Life After Death, but Harlem World is the one I always go back to.
Ooh, good point.
And just constantly listen to Mace album. Yeah, that Harlem World, I love that album, man. Listen, I still say to this day, Fab, Loon, and any other nigga, and even Lloyd Banks, all was trying to recreate the magic that Mace had with that Harlem World album. Like, go ahead, I'm sorry, bro.
Did you hear Double Up?
Yeah. I heard Double Up. I was like,
it wasn't bad, man. It was like this for the first 10 tracks.
Yeah.
Let me guess you, Mark. Let me guess you, Mark. Your favorite one from Harlem World was Baby States, huh? Wasn't it?
He said, yo, I just think honestly, and to this day, to this day, Mace says he still writes songs that we listen to every day and don't think about, but he wrote. That's current, like popping. I think Mace is probably one of the most phenomenal writers in hip hop. Because he just knew how. If you listen to the Harlem World album, man, he just knew how to like. There's a certain thing. We're not talking about bars. We're just talking about putting together music and being able to hear the story with that beat.
He had a few bars too.
Yeah, he had bars too.
He can rap.
Yeah, and he just knew how to like choreography or just put together bomb ass music.
I agree. I will say this: when I saw your post about "Crush on You,"
Cam wrote that. That.
Who?
Cameron wrote that.
Okay, because I always thought that Little C's wrote that, because on Queen Bee's original album, it's his whole song. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, that's why I always thought that was a C's thing.
The Unrivera dude told about it, but he didn't know. Biggie and them didn't know Cam. Biggie and them didn't know. Mace took the money and then had Cam write it. But so
that's what happened.
Yeah, Cam wrote it. So Biggie paid. Listen, half Lil C's album, Mace wrote along with Cam. But that Crush on You song, and I'm not lying, both of them wrote it because both of them wrote bars. But when they went back to the song, when they went back to do the song, they took some of the shit that Mace wrote. They took off and they kept the shit Cam wrote for Lil C's verse, and they added, because Lil Kim, like you said, Lil Kim wasn't on the original thing.
Right.
It was just 3 verses of Lil C's. And Mace and Cam both wrote it, but Cam wrote a majority of it. They took those parts off, and then they brought in what's her face? Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, and when you asked the question about what's your favorite Bad Boy album, my first thing was gonna be Lil Kim Hardcore. But that wasn't on Bad Boy.
That wasn't on Bad Boy.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, oh well, Ready to Die, because Hardcore was one of my favorite records. Matter of fact, I sold the bootleg when I was in high school. Another story.
Lil Kim had like a bad few, like her first 2 albums was hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one when she was about to go to jail was sweet too.
Yeah, like the whole courtroom thing, like she did that song.
Yeah, he was dope. Yeah. Kim was dope.
Yeah, like she don't get the props she deserves.
She's the cutest female rapper ever.
I wanted Reggie. We got to have you come back on, bro. We got to get you back on, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you so much, bro. And I thank y'all for giving me y'all time. I got to get ready to go so the missus don't cuss me out. So we're gonna wrap this up. Real quick while we here, and I still got y'all. Your favorite Bad Boy artist, favorite Death Row artist, which is different from albums we talking about, but you know.
That's true.
Lil Kim. Lil Kim. I'm saying it.
Okay.
Well, if I gotta pick 1 and 1, right?
Oh, I gotta pick Death Row.
Hey, you can do what you want to do, bro. Tell your story.
Well, I would have to say that Snoop would probably be my favorite Death Row artist as a person. The best rapper is going to be Tupac. On the other side, it's just Biggie B.
Yeah, for sure. No Craig Mack votes?
No. I'll go with G-Dep first.
I'm giving Black Robert or I might even give Loon more shots than that.
What about G-Dep?
I was already on Fishing. Did you know 50 wrote Puff most of Puff verse on that Make This Money, Take This Money, Ain't No Way. Yeah, 50 wrote. Yeah.
I don't write rhymes, I write checks.
Yeah. Oh, no, is that on that same song? No, on the Make This Money, Take This Money song. That's the one where G-Dep was like, I was already on Fish and Spaghetti. Yeah.
I like his other song, Special Delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 50 wrote on that Make This Money song. He wrote most of Puff verse.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's when Puff was trying to sign him because J-Lo hooked him up. And Puff was gonna sign him, but the street shit was just too much for Puff at that time.
Yeah, I wasn't even hip to him back then.
Okay. So it's tying in now. Okay, I got you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember 50 saying some stuff about Puff back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, how you know that? Y'all wasn't even rocking, but now I see that. I guess they
it was just like his penmanship, and 50 didn't strayed away from being the penman that he was. His penmanship used to be like on fucking point. Like he used to could write some shit. I used to be like, damn, 50.
I mean, 50
and that's
was
what
dope.
doing now.
There's no harder artist when it comes to mixtape than 50. There's none.
Yeah.
Sorry, Weezy, Lil Wayne, love you to death. You wasn't beating 50 in no mixtape game. Sorry.
No.
He got some competition now. He got Boosie, even though I'm not the biggest Boosie fan. Boosie, Wayne, Gucci.
Yeah.
Nah, not seeing 50. Not seeing 50 when it came to mixtape. Yeah.
Gucci?
No, not even Gucci.
He's
still doing it.
No, they are. But what I'm sitting there saying with 50's mixtapes did at that time
They were
was
better.
like
They were better.
they were like, because he was taking the original songs,
Right.
but yeah, and that's what
Kill 'em. I
basically
agree.
all them niggas you talking about started doing the 50 thing. Wayne started
I
doing the
agree.
50 thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Is
what's that
that
one
you
girl that was the radio host? What was her name?
Angie Martinez.
Yeah, because his version of her song is better than hers. Way better.
Oh yeah. Hey, when he did the Tony song, you should be here. I was like, this
I ain't
nigga
even
is
here.
wow. You should be here with me, man.
I'm about to have to Google that
And,
right
and then
now.
when he did, bro, when I heard I Smell Pussy, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
you,
that was
John?
good.
I smell. Is that you, Todd? Hey, better yet, I know we about to end this, but I still think his better bar is one of my favorite bars from 50 is this. You're never gonna sell Mitsubishi Tie Crack Chow.
No. Have you ever heard 50 Cent song called Problem Child?
Yeah.
That shit's sweet. That shit is fucking sweet. That shit is motherfucking sweet. I be still listening to that.
Yeah.
Yo.
I like to play like niggas jumped me because they couldn't beat me 1-on-1.
50 was the shit.
Bars. Yo, this is a AAA Productions / Truth Entertainment Films. I am Black V. That is Reg. That is D80, aka the producer, the man behind the scenes. Be on the lookout for more content. Reggie, we gonna get, bro. I'm kidnapping you. We getting you on all kind of material, bro.
I'm ready. I'm down for that shit too.
Yeah, bro. Bro, it was dope. It was organic, and I had fun, bro. Your opinions are appreciated, valued. Your conversation is real, and you provide context and realness to it. I respect that, appreciate that. We want to thank y'all for listening. In the words of Russell Simmons, back on Def Comedy Jam. God bless y'all. Good night.
Good night. All right, peace to the gods. Take care, y'all.
All right, peace out.